beginning that we normally do at the end while everybody is getting themselves situated. So once again, welcome. I'm Brenda Bailey, a Theta Healing Master, along with Ralph Macintyre, our Evolutionary Astrologer and Astrocartographer. So we do this on the first Wednesday of every month. And you are always welcome to join our Facebook group, which will get there easier. You'll get there easily with www.joinmoongatherings.com. And once again, just as a reminder, it's always the first Wednesday, so the next one will be right before the 4th of July. And go ahead and take a picture of this if you want to know what the link is to register for the new moon gathering. And the next gathering that we will have, that will be in, I'm guessing, 2 weeks, if I'm doing my math right, will be Wednesday, June 19th for the full moon gathering. And this is the registration link. Once you register for the full moon gathering, you'll always be notified of it. Once you register for the new moon gathering, you will always be notified of it, and you will always get our recordings. So that's the good thing about joining the webinar, is that if you can't make it, you'll always be able to look at the recording at your leisure. And again, like I said, this is Ralph Macintyre. He is an evolutionary astrologer and astrocartographer, and this is his website, which is www.astro-map-links.com. He always has a great offer for us, which is 50% off the complete world map, which is super cool. So if you've ever had astrocartography done where it maps out like all your lines, Ralph's is very interactive. You can put whatever lines you want to see. You can put all of them at once. It's very cool. So 50% off price is only $25. I know some people are like, say that again?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's so
I've been waiting too long to say that. I had to get one off.
I know, because we had an extra week. So you waited 3 weeks to say it instead of 2. If you want to know more about me, right, come to this link right here. You will learn more about me. You want to know more about Theta Healing, you can go to this link here at YouTube. And if you want to know more about the different things that I do with Theta Healing, I'm an instructor as well as I do coaching. So feel free to join us on take a look at that bit.ly. And of course, this is all being recorded. So if you join the webinar, you'll be able to get it. So if you like the belief work, you can always join my Theta Healing belief group, which gets to join it by www.joinblastyyourbeliefs.com. We'll see if I'll probably go back to the previous here just to do some reminders. And I ought to do it at the beginning. I may restructure this a little bit just with some reminders here towards the end.
You rock, by the way, just in case you needed a reminder.
Thank you, Ralph.
Oh, I'm just so in appreciation. Every time I sit here and do nothing, I just appreciate you.
Must be nice to be just sitting there looking pretty there, Ralph. Well, at least we can see you. We're all so glad we're not doing witness protection anymore. So we're so glad that we can see Ralph. So let's just do this, and we're going to get this party started. Okay. All right. So take it away, Ralph.
Is that me? All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Gemini Moon Club today. Just in case you guys hadn't figured it out yet, at least one of us has a Gemini moon. Gemini. You know, Gemini is a very interesting sign. People have a lot of, well, you know, in astrology, people tend to, pop culture astrology, tend to pin different signs with different things. And Geminis, we've been known as the talkers. And have been known to be guilty of being able to communicate and ramble on for days upon days. But Gemini is much really more than that. Gemini is curiosity. It's about seeing the possibilities in things. It's also about seeing what other people don't see. Very often, Gemini is a very curious and perceptive sign. So if you have a lot of Gemini in your chart or different planets in Gemini, it generally means that there's some kind of curiosity. Gemini also has a very youthful spirit to it. Very much kind of young, exciting, moving forward, what's new kind of energy to Gemini. With that focused in different areas, it can be a very powerful symbolism. So I've talked a lot about the different cycles that are going on. I want to not repeat myself too much on it, but I want to just kind of do a little review. So we have this big major cycle that's happening all summer where the south node of the moon, Pluto, and Saturn are sitting in Capricorn working together. And on the other side of that, we have the north node of the moon in Cancer. And that north node of the moon, Cancer, is a big reason why I am loving the little puppy barking. I love dogs, because anytime a dog barks when I'm talking, I know that I'm speaking the truth. That's my little symbol. It's like, if the dogs agree with me, that bring it on. So, you know, the north node of the moon right now collectively is sitting up in Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. And interestingly enough, I think that's why I'm sitting here talking to you. This is something that I feel is super important, because the north node is where we're evolutionary heading. So as the north node of the moon sits up there ruled by the moon, as the moon cycles through the chart, we get to kind of look at the evolutionary gold standard in our chart. So it's like where that Gemini moon sits in your chart right now is kind of asking you to evolve in that direction. And so Gemini is very interesting in the sense that a lot of times, a lot of karmic wounds are caused by Gemini's curiosity. And also a lot of karmic healing can be cured by Gemini's curiosity. And the way that they kind of link together is possibilities. So when you close down your possibilities, you tend to get into trouble. When you allow for many possibilities, the right answer tends to come forward to you. And that's pure Gemini. Gemini, a lot of times from the north node of the moon perspective, it's what is truly possible that you're not seeing as possible. What is possible from the emotional perspective, the moon perspective? Where is this keeping you from allowing things into your life as what's truly possible? And then kind of where Gemini can get us into trouble is showing us things that seem like they're a good idea or seem possible, but maybe we jump into it too quickly. You know, it's like if we get 10 answers and we jump at answer 2 when we should have needed to wait until answer 9, we then think that there's no possibility of answer 9. And so there's a certain way of allowing things to unfold is what Gemini is asking. So right now in the sky, Gemini is interacting with the Neptune in Pisces. And I've talked about this briefly before. I'm going to talk about it briefly now, just kind of recap. So anytime a planet's in its own sign, Neptune is naturally affiliated with Pisces. It's a very powerful planet. Neptune is an extremely powerful planet in the sense that it rules all the ethereal world. It's kind of a lot of what Brenda is doing in this non-physical healing is Neptune's realm. That's where Neptune sits. Neptune sits in all the things that you have to have faith the things that you can't necessarily point to, but you know. So the moon is sitting in there interacting. The moon and the sun are going to be interacting with Neptune this whole month. And this Neptune cycle, which we're all in for, I forget how many years, but it's been a while. It's going to be a while. It's one, I want to say it's every 200 to 300 years this cycle comes around. Google will give in all the details if you just search on Google. I think I said this before, but I want to kind of talk about it a little more in the context of Gemini, and that is that typically speaking, when Neptune is in Pisces, the planet undergoes a religious awakening, meaning there's some kind of new religion becomes popular and sweeps the earth. So we're in the midst of this cycle right now, meaning that as a collective, we are reevaluating our interaction with the Neptune spirit world. So Jupiter, Sagittarius, which is opposite of Gemini, Jupiter is your knowledge, what I know. Gemini is what I want to know, what I'm curious about, what I think. Jupiter is what I know. I'm speaking very Jupiterian now. I'm speaking with authority. Even though my knees are shaking and I'm seriously uncomfortable about what I'm saying it with Jupiterian authority. So right now in the sky, the sun and the moon are opposite this Jupiter and square Neptune. So Jupiter is an interesting planet. It's in the sense that it's how you're lucky. It's where you're lucky. What Jupiter really rules is your belief systems. It also is the vehicle in which we bring this ethereal message of Neptune into the practical realm. So here's kind of a real world example. Theta healing, the concept of theta healing is a very Neptunian concept. Now, Brenda is speaking about theta healing as a knowledge that she knows, as a wisdom she knows, which is a very Jupiterian, Sagittarian concept. So it's like for us to have access to this Neptunian concept, we need someone to bring it into the physical world and speak to us and say, hey, this is what I see, this is what I know. So these planets are interacting with each other for a while right now. The moon, Jupiter and Neptune will be there for a couple of months. The moon and the sun the moon is already gone. The sun will be there for the month, this month. So right now we're kind of, there's an opportunity to really allow new possibilities of wisdom to come in. Meaning this Neptune in Pisces, it's got all this wisdom available to us if we sit with it. And if we let that Gemini curiosity really allow all the things that are possibilities to become centered, then we can bring it up to the Jupiter Sagittarian wisdom and speak about it with wisdom. And so coming back to the north node of the moon and this major cycle that we've been talking about a lot in this group for the summer, where our souls collectively are reaching towards being more emotionally available, more emotionally in tune, more emotionally honest, more emotionally connected. And also valuing our emotional state in a way that our society doesn't really value. You know, it's like the Capricorn Saturn work ethic, get things done, focus, order is something that's really valued. It's like having emotional down day, you know, it's like a lot of us give ourselves that, but very few people say that with the same kind of vigor that they say, oh yeah, I'm being organized, I'm cleaning my house, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm being good. You know, it's like, oh, okay, that is good. But having an emotional day, having a day to just kind of like feel, calm down, relax, is equally valuable. And this transit right now with the Pluto oppose the North Node, Saturn in the South Node oppose the North Node, is really asking us to look at where we are focusing on structure and rather than focusing on our emotional nature. Where is our structure affecting our emotional nature? I see someone chatting us up. Yeah, having an emotional day and not feeling guilty. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And really there's no reason to be guilty about your emotional state. You know, it's like, well, I mean, we don't have to look far out into the public realm to see people who are emotionally unstable wreaking havoc on our world, you know, and wouldn't we all like to say, hey, chill out, go have an emotional chill pill to a few of these people. And the interesting thing, this is bipartisan. I'm sure depending on which side of the aisle you sit on politically, you could point to someone and say, hey, chill out. It's all gonna work out. And so that's kind of what we're all being affected with right now. And so Gemini, possibilities, really endless possibilities. And so one of the things I like to talk to people, especially from the karmic perspective around Gemini, especially the service aspect of Capricorn and the moon, about taking care of people. And that is that if you're doing things that are draining you, you might think of another way of doing it or another thing to do. You know, it's like a lot of us need to be of service to people. You know, we have a deep need to be of service. That moon up in the sky, it's a deep need to be nurturing of service. And if we don't wait for the possibility of being of service that actually feeds us, or if we're of service out of guilt or responsibility, which drains us, then it's kind of a diminishing gain. If you're of service in a way that drains you, you can only be of service for a certain amount of time. Versus if you're of service in a way that feeds you, that energizes you, you're basically the energizing bunny. You can talk for days or do whatever you're doing for days and be energized. And so one of the things that I'd like to kind of bring forward this month is the possibility of Gemini. Letting yourself allow all the different ways to look at things and come up with ways that actually work for you. Let go of the things that don't work for you and move towards the things that do work for you. All right, let me see what else I had in my little notes there. So communication is a big Gemini thing. And you know, one of the ways that I think we get into a lot of trouble, I know I get into trouble with this sometimes, is thinking I need to say things when I don't need to, or not saying things when I need to, or not thinking of a way that I can say them in a way that the person will actually get it. It's like if I need to say something to someone and I don't say it to them in a way that they can actually get it, I'm inherently wasting my time. You know, it's like people don't change unless they want to change. So your communication, your suggestions can facilitate change in their life. Like, hey, that's a good idea. I think I like that idea. Or who gave you the right to tell me what to do? Well, who seems more open? The person that's like, oh, that's a good idea, thank you. Or, you know, don't tell me what to do. And so if you allow the possibility of words to come together, or if you allow the timing of the words to come together. So it's like, yeah, you need to say this, but maybe today's not the time. Maybe tomorrow, or maybe next week, maybe next month, maybe next year, there will present a time. And if you're observant, you're paying attention, Gemini qualities, then it'll come to you. Versus the self-sabotaging act that I'm actually relatively good at sometimes, of saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, or saying something to someone when they're not able to hear it, or they're not ready to hear it, you know, and all of those things tend to not go very well. So obviously with the new moon, it's a good time to start things. You know, a good time to potentially look at some of the relationships you have that are serving you, and how the communication can maybe be elevated to a higher level, or the relationships that you're ready to let go of, or the things that you're ready to let go of, or the things where you may need to say, you know what, I can no longer do this. I know that you count on me, but this doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. So that new moon energy is good for kind of initiating this kind of stuff. Another thing that I want to talk about that's kind of going in a different non-sequitur but staying in the same subject realm, is the planet Mars. So Mars has been in Cancer now, is in Cancer, interacting with the moon. And Mars in Cancer is a very interesting conundrum, in the sense that Mars wants to take action, wants to jump in, wants to do something without thinking. Mars is that warrior spirit. Run into the burning building and rescue the person. Then you come out and freak out and like, oh, what did I do? Well, Cancer is deeply connected, deeply emotional. So one of the ways I like to joke about Mars and Cancer, it's like, you go and slice the person's head off, and then you go cry with their family for the next 6 months. You know, it's like you hurt someone with that Mars taking action, but then you're also emotionally connected to them, so you actually end up having to feel your own actions. So this puts a lot of people on tension. People are kind of fired up emotionally, Mars in Cancer. And so you might find your own tendency to emotionally pop off, or to maybe not talk when you need to. Or you also might find that other people have a tendency to kind of emotionally pop off right now. On the higher realm is what this Mars is really asking us to do, especially in regarding to this transit, is to have the courage, face our fears, move forward into things that are really scary. And anytime you're dealing with the south and north node of the moon, particularly the south node of the moon, anytime you're dealing with Pluto, you're dealing with things that are inherently really, really, really scary. And so right now, Mars is our friend. Mars is kind of like, oh, you have a really intense feeling that you need to let go of. You have a really intense past life experience that's starting to come up in feelings. Every time you get near that feeling, it scares you, you run from it. Mars is like, here, let me hold your hand, honey. Let's walk forward into this burning emotions and get onto the other side. So anytime you're feeling like popping off, or anytime you're experiencing other people pop off, it might be a good time to get quiet and just like, oh, okay, so what is the feeling that I need to look into? What is the feeling that I potentially might be running from? And that's Mars right now for us. So, as I said a couple sessions ago, this is an awesome summer to be doing this kind of work. This kind of theta healing is really helping out with the past life karmic stuff that's not necessarily always in our consciousness. We're all being exposed to this. I'm finding, especially right now, that my tons of people are coming to me for readings for this very particular subject. And it has a lot to do with past life feelings that are coming up that are ready to, ripe to be dealt with, ready and ripe to kind of let go of. Because really what this transit's asking you, what Pluto's asking us, what this north node of the moon is asking us, what in our structure no longer serves us? What in our structure, what in the DNA of our life, how we structure our life doesn't serve us, holds us back? Where do we need to have the courage to allow this emotional baggage that comes from the past life go, feel it, and move forward? All right. Anyone have any questions so far, or no questions?
Not yet.
Yeah. How about you, Brenda? You have any questions?
I do not.
All right. I'm
I
kind
know
of.
we just kind of go like this, right? We're just all listening. Thank goodness those of us that are on the webinar can always get the recording so we can like listen to it again.
Yes. So anyways,
Anything else?
yeah, I have something else, and I'm not sure if I want to say it or not, but I think I will. Just
We're going through this like what he just talked about. You're not going to
no,
put your foot in your mouth, are you, Ralph?
yeah, possibly.
We're all like, okay, especially me. I'm like, all right, Ralph, go ahead.
So I want to put out an offer for people next on the 19th of Gemini of June 19th.
He's got Gemini on the brain.
Well,
So this is an offer for the new moon. Okay.
Full moon.
The full moon. Pardon me.
Yes, that's all right. I'm Sun, Moon, and Mars in Gemini, so I come by this Gemini chattiness naturally. So for the people on the webinar, actually join the moon gathering. There's going to be something in the chat box that would be very. It's a new thing that I'm just completing and should have up and running, that I'm going to be offering for a one-time only, and only the people on the webinar. So as an incentive,
so people have to actually join and attend. Okay.
And have the text open and write down a URL that will be open for a short period of time to get something that I think you will enjoy. So, Gemini curiosity, hopefully I sparked some.
So invite your friends and let people know, because for those of you who don't know, like Ralph's a bit of an inventor, right? So he has like apps and he has software and he has like this 3D map with astrocartography. So if he says that it's something, I have no idea what it is, right? So y'all, we're all in the dark here, but I would tell you that if he's telling you to stay tuned and we'll see you in 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Be here in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Mark it on your calendar.
This won't be.
Because I've been waiting for Ralph. I'm like, when is Ralph going to do something special for us? There it is. He read my mind.
Jeez.
All right.
I have to get some new glasses for next time. I like the little purple with the little.
Okay.
They're cute.
You like coloring stones?
I do.
Yeah.
They work. I don't know if I could quite pull it off, but you.
All right. So are we ready to do some theta healing work? And there's also something I'm just going to address, right? Because if we're just like talking about everything because everybody knows who knows me. I've been talking a lot about these solar flares.
Yes.
And it is really shaking some stuff up. So we'll do some work here at the end around that. So stay tuned. Here's my stay tuned for you. I don't think it's as big a deal as Ralph's, but here's my stay tuned for this one. So with theta healing, right? People can tell me how they think and how they feel. What you create in your life is what you believe. And we hold those beliefs on a cellular level. So for any of my new people out there, I always make sure that people have 3 basic beliefs before we get started, right? So this is like a prayer or meditation. This is working with whoever you believe to be your higher power. If you don't believe in any higher power, that's okay, because I do. Since I'm the theta healing practitioner, it's all good. And this is the thing. It is a very respectful modality, which means that I will not do any work on you unless you verbally agree to it, which means you just say yes out loud. And of course, Ralph will prompt you. Don't worry.
Yes.
So, and now, I mean, yeah, now people are quoting you all over the place. Like I literally saw some people in my class this past week that were saying yes, 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 because Ralph says yes, yes, yes. So you're becoming, people are quoting you, Ralph. So 3 basic beliefs that we always make sure are in place are: I want an instant healing, I deserve an instant healing, and an instant healing is possible. So if you would like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it was, I take some notes, right? I know it looks like I'm not paying attention, but I'm taking notes. And when he was talking about possibilities, for those of you who don't know, the name of my company is Unlimited Possibilities 101. So I love the word possibility. And so we're looking at what is possible, what possibilities can we allow to come into our lives, can we draw into our lives, and also why are we closed off to possibilities. So we want to remove the free-floating memories. So whenever we have a trauma, we say that you have free-floating memories. And what happens is that they will either attract more of the same trauma, or they will cause you to project the feelings of that trauma onto something that isn't even related to it. So when we look through theta healing and we look at trauma, which is all relative, so again, and we don't have to know, we're just talking about the original event. So it just covers it and kind of makes it retroactive. So we're going to remove the free-floating memories from the original event, that the result is that we are not open to possibilities. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that causes us to be closed to possibilities. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from being aware of what is possible. So if you would like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
So what we know is that we're going to remove the free-floating memories from the original event. We're going to get any definitions that we need so that we can be in alignment with God's definition, what they feel like that they're possible, that they're safe. And then as far as the free-floating memory work, how it serves us to shift it, what it feels like to do it differently, or to do it depending on the download, that it is possible and that it is safe. So let's go ahead and do those. Okay. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from allowing things in our lives. And then we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from allowing things to unfold. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from consistently being in our faith. And we want to, let's do those. So again, how it serves us, what it feels like to do it or do it differently, that it is possible, and that it is safe, and along with any definitions that we need as well. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then let's remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from having curiosity. And also we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from being connected with what we know. And then also what prevents us, we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from connecting and understanding what we don't know.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, let's go to, yeah. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud. So removing the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from being emotionally connected. Removing the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from being in tune with our emotions. And removing the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from being honest with our emotions. Removing the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from understanding the value of our emotional state. So again, how it serves us, what it feels like to do it or do it differently depending on the download, that it is possible, and that it is safe. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I think, when we're looking at being in service, right? The greater good of being in service. I want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that we're obligated to be in service. So then we understand, like we have that discernment of when to and when not to. But we also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that obligate us to be in servitude. Because there's a difference between being in service and being in servitude. And usually when somebody says that they're being in service, they're actually being in servitude, which is like enslavement. So we also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from having the discernment between service and servitude. So if you would like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ralph must be a little tired because he's not his usual enthusiastic, yes, yes, yes. Right, he's damned if he's do and he's damned if he don't. He's all like, I'm chillaxing in my laid backness of my yes.
I already got scolded once. I'm trying not to get scolded. I was actually wanting you to break it up so I get to say yes, yes more often. Like every none of this grouping of
Actually, I guess I'm doing that for you because that's what it feels like. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from letting go when it's for our highest and best.
Yes, yes, yes.
We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from knowing what works for us. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from having discernment in communication. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that obligates us to put our foot in our mouth.
Yes, yes, yes.
So just say yes out loud if you'd like those. So we're going to get how it serves us, what it feels like to do it or do it differently, depending on the download, that it's possible, and that it's safe. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from starting something new. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from elevating our communication. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that have us taking action without considering the consequences. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that we're obligated to be fired up emotionally. So again, any definitions that we need to be in alignment with creators, what it feels like, that it's possible, that it's safe. And then with the free-floating memory work, how it serves us for our highest and best, what it feels like to do it or do it differently depending on the download, that it is possible and that it is safe. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from facing our fears. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from stepping out of our comfort zone. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from moving through our emotions. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that obligate us to be attached to feelings that are from our past lives. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from letting go of what no longer serves us. So again, any definitions that we need to be in alignment with Creator's definition, what it feels like to do it, so it shortens the learning curve, that it's possible and that it's safe, and then also with the free-floating memory work, once again, just a reminder how it serves us, what it feels like to do it or do it differently, that it is possible, and that it is safe. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
Anything that you can think of that I possibly missed, Ralph? Anything else that you'd like to throw up possibly to shift? Makes me nervous when Ralph is so quiet. So anything else, Ralph?
Am I back?
You're back. Yes.
Okay, awesome. No, I'm all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just throw in a little extra work, right? That has nothing to do with astrology, but it has everything to do with what's happened in our atmosphere, what's happened in our lives. Because everybody knows I'm beating these solar flares. It's like a dead horse subject for me because it has been very, very impactful in the last 3 weeks. So I feel like in the discussions that I've had with some friends who are intuitive and psychics, and it's been confirmed and validated, that the solar flares actually, why people have been so stirred up, okay, and this is just the world according to Brenda, is that it really did shake up like our timeline. And what is either happening is that some timelines are coming together, or we're just going to a completely different timeline. And I feel like that's why things have been a little wobbly for folks, and not a little, a lot wobbly for folks. So what I'd like to do is remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevents us from being connected to our divine timing. And then remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from connecting to the timing that's for our highest and best good, which is the one that will be in alignment with our divine timing. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
So keep in mind that we're also getting, any definitions that we need, like divine timing, if you don't know what that is, right? That we're in alignment with Creator's definition, what it feels like, that it's possible, that it's safe. And then also with the free-floating memory work from the original event, which again allows it to be retroactive, we're getting how it serves us, that it is what it feels like to do it or do it differently, that it is possible, and that it is safe. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that right now. As long as you've said yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then to finish this off, since we've done, a lot of, what prevents us, right, from being connected, just download you with your divine timing. So if you would like that, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
So just a reminder that if you want to be a part of the next gathering that we have, and you want to be notified of it, you want to be able to get the recording in case you don't make it, the next gathering is actually June 19th. It's going to be on the full moon. And like Ralph said, he's going to be having, for people who actually attend through the webinar, that he's going to have something special for us. So again, tell your friends, tell your family, have them register for it, have them show up so that they can get in on this like surprise that's going to be happening in 2
Yes.
weeks. I know it's going to be pretty good. So Ralph does not disappoint. We'll just say that when it comes to what he offers through astrology. I can't speak on other things. I'm just going to say that. So, anything else you want to add here at the end, Ralph?
No, just thank you so much, all of you, for joining. And Brenda, thank you again and again and again and again and again for all of the magical work you do behind the green curtain. I'm so appreciative.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone who has joined us. I hope that, our intention here is to inform you, right? Because information is power, to let you know what's going on, and then to do some work to shift it so that you're not as affected by it if it doesn't serve you, right? Because we want the good stuff, right? So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night.
All right. Have a fabulous evening.